Hello everybody, this is CharManyrd again, and I'm bringing you part 2 of my Season 1 Rainbow Six Siege video. Now, I'm going to start this off right before I get into all the speculations with a thank you to everybody who's been watching my videos, the last video especially. You guys are great. Last week I said that if the video got 400 likes, or 400 views, I'm sorry, then I would make a part 2. You guys got it to 3,000 plus likes. I have about 10 new subscribers, and I have a whole handful of likes with that, so I just want to say thank you guys so much for watching my video. Hopefully you've been watching other things that I've been putting up. And without further ado, let's get into this video. So, last week I was a little bit unorganized with how I handled the Canadian operators, so this week I'm going to try something different, and with the other two videos I'm going to try something different. And what I'm going to do is separate it into 3 different things, a little system if you will. Now the system I'm using now is going to be 3 different teams, or 3 different options. The first is probably going to be the least likely of the options. It's more of I'm using my imagination to its fullest, and I'm just kind of thinking, well, what if this, what if that, just to kind of give it my own twist to it. Now the second one is going to be a little bit more plausible. You know, they can do something with it if they want to. It's basically like a really good middle ground. If they don't do anything with it, we're not missing out too much. If they do something with it, then that will be pretty cool because it's already a usable team that they can then edit. And then the third option is going to be, in my opinion, the best option to pick because of gadgets, weaponry, and just kind of history of the team and such. So we're going to start this off with the first one, and the least viable option of the 3 that I've been researching and that I like: the United States Secret Service. The Secret Service is, for those who don't know, the agency used to protect the president. They are the guys you see with President Obama in the full suits with the sunglasses, looking like a badass MFer. And these guys are no joke. They're around to protect the president. So, possible weapons that I researched and found from articles or videos would be the FNP90, the H&K, MP5, 2 weapons that are already in the game. Something new to add to it, the Remington 870 shotgun, and the SR16 carbine, basically a AR-15-esque assault rifle that you would see. Now, other things that they could add to this would be a mini Uzi, micro Uzi, Mac 10, Mac 11. I believe the Mac 11 is already in the game. But, you know, they're carrying lighter weapons so that way they can, one, conceal them, because you can't just, you know, idly hide an M4 carbine under your suit jacket, but you can hide a mini Uzi down there. You know, these are just kind of light arms to protect the president, get him in and out of situations if need be. Now, gadgets for this, I'm taking a little bit of liberties and changing it up. You know, this is basically where my imagination kicks in. Now, one possible gadget that they could have would be, if you've ever played Ghost Recon, the series, specifically Future Soldier, I believe it was, the newest one that came out, they have a diamond formation, where it's basically one person in the middle, and then 4 people surrounded front, back, left, and right, so it's like a diamond. Now, that could be, you know, interesting to see. You know, it would really add a new element to it if they had formations you could use. Let's say you breach into a room, or you get ready to breach into a door, and you and one other person are to the left, and he has his hand on your shoulder, and when he taps your shoulder, your controller vibrates, and then the door explodes, and then you go in with him watching your back. You know, just kind of add like a more realistic element to the game, I'm sorry, and just kind of stretch it out a bit more and see, you know, what they can do with it. Now, my phone just had a seizure there. I apologize about that. So along with that, they could have a motion sensor or a radar. Now this would be really cool to have kind of a class specific item. Pulse has his little heartbeat sensor that he can walk around with. But if the defenders, if they're Secret Servicemen, let's say they do what they did in Rainbow Six Vegas, you could put that little sensor on the wall and it would shoot out a laser. And that laser would connect to, if you really want to get James Bond with it, like a wristwatch, or they have like a PDA or something they can use. It's like a double gadget. So after they use all their motion sensors, they take out like a little PDA or maybe something on their forearm by their wrist. They look at that, and let's say you put one by this ladder in this match that I'm playing now. Somebody comes down the ladder, you see a little red ping. Then somebody's coming down the ladder, coming through the backside, going towards the kitchen. You know, it could be a really tactical, or an extra tactical element to the game in order to fledge it out a little bit more and give it more, I guess, competitive nature. You know, if you have motion sensors around, then you have to actively look for more, especially if the sensor doesn't have a red line like Capchan's trap does, but let's say it's like ultraviolet, or it's something you can only see if you had thermal goggles, or if you were using the IQ's detectable Leela from Futurama wristband. You know, that would kind of just add something to the game. Like I said, I'm using my imagination with this a lot. I just think it would be freaking dope to run into a bunch of people and you're just rocking a mini Uzi in like a Sig Sauer in full suit with sunglasses, looking all dope. But that's besides the point. So now let's get into something a little bit more serious. Let's get to my second choice. And my second choice here is kind of a 50-50 between two different teams, I should say, that the United States has. And to bring something really interesting in it are the ATF and the DEA. ATF stands for Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms. It's a department. And the DEA is the Drug Enforcement Administration, I believe. Now, their respective teams, for the ATF, it's the Special Response Team, or the SRT. And for the DEA, it's FAST, the Foreign Deployed Advisory Support Teams. The D is silent in the acronym. But anyways, these guys are they're deployed anywhere in America, or they can be deployed across the globe. And they're really specifically used for illegal operations around the United States. You know, drugs, gun smuggling, things like that. And so the weapons that these guys would have: Glock 17, Glock 22, Glock 18 possibly. That would also be nice to have a fully automatic pistol in the game, just to have it. M6 carbines and M6 variants, or M variants, I should say. You know, M4, M16, things like that. Remington shotguns and a SPAS shotgun. I don't think we have a SPAS in this game. I could be wrong. I'm not the best person on gun knowledge, as my comments have shown me, which it's true. I'm not the gun guru. But now let's get into some of the gadgets that they could have. ATF specifically, they were used to assault the compound in Waco, Texas with the Branch Davidians. And one of the things they had were ladders to put up to get to the roofs. Now, obviously, it'd be kind of dopey to just have a dude with a gigantic ass back carrying some 20-step ladder. But what if you had one of those rope ladders, you know, like what you see in helicopters and such? Let's say they can throw it up and there's a rope that comes down with it. They hook it to the ledge on the little snow mansion where you can only rappel up certain walls, but you can't rappel up those ledges to get a vantage point. You throw your ladder up there, you pull the rope down, and you can climb up there, get a better vantage point, shoot inside to the main room, things like that. That would add something really cool to it. Or let's say you're going down and you don't want to jump down this hole, so you drop down a ladder, go up, or go down to the second floor or the first floor, and scour out that way. It could also be used, let's say you throw the ladder up onto the ceiling, and there's like some type of device or something close by the ceiling to put it up there. And then you can climb up the ladder and then put a breaching charge under to blow up from under to above. So from the first floor to the second floor. That would be something really interesting too to add to it, just to kind of fledge it out so it's not just, oh, we get a ladder, whoopee. Along with that, something that they could add to the game that would be really nice to see and a really good way to troll the enemy, some type of camera hacking or camera disabling device. Let's say you have to get to a certain radius with a camera and you have to hold down the square button or the X button for like 4 seconds, and you hack the camera. Now they can still see it, like it's still fine to them, but if they leave the camera alone, you can swirl it around and mark them instead. Now, a drawback to this would be, they could just be on every single camera and disable it for, your entire team. But if you had it to where it would show, instead of an enemy name at the bottom, it would say like error, or, some little message would come up, or maybe the light's blue instead of red, then you shoot at that camera, or you find the device, maybe it's like a device like Mute has, so that way you can go and destroy it. It's not just, oh, this guy just hacked the camera and I can't use this anymore. So now my final team, the team that I personally believe is the most fitting of what I would like to see and what I think they should do with the game, is the CIA Special Activities Division, or SAD team. Now, the SAD team is from my research, a special operations or a black operation team, a black ops, specifically sent to foreign territory almost as a paramilitary unit. So what they do is, if they're going to Afghanistan, which they have done and they currently are stationed in Afghanistan, certain SAD teams, they'll have full beards, they'll rock the head garb, the clothing, the weaponry, speak the language, understand everything. Or they're basically new age soldier spy hybrids. So imagine the Medal of Honor warfighter, the cover, that dude with a big beard, like he basically is like that dude. And so they're just kind of sent out to end conflicts overseas, or put their own men behind enemy lines to gather intel and to destroy things, kind of like from the inside out, so to speak. Now, weapons with these guys, adding some differency to it, AK variants, seeing it's as most recently they're used overseas, Afghanistan, Iraq, the Middle East, and etc. AK variants are going to be very popular over there. Maybe a Galil, the Sig Sauer pistol, the FN Scar. It'd be nice to have like a really heavy-duty assault rifle in the game. Like this will punch a hole through your chest, but it'll, kick like a mule. Now, along with this, the possible gadgets, a little bit different, adding a little bit more to the game. Seeing as they're kind of spy-like in nature, if they were to go this direction, I would love to see thermal imaging. Either thermal optics or night vision. And then they could add new stuff to the map. So let's say EMP grenades blow out vending machines and lights and stuff like that, so the map will get dark, or you can shoot out lights. That really adds a new element to it. Or add maps that have different power fluctuations through the entire map, so you can like destroy a generator in the basement, all the lights will turn off except for like some emergency lights, and so on. And along with that, something to add a little bit of a different gadget to it all, Simtex grenades. So most of us have played Call of Duty. Those little sticky grenades that blow the fuck out of something. You charge that up. You can either place it like around and then pull the pin and run, or you can just pull the pin and throw it. Now, to add something new to this, if Simtex were able to destroy barricades in one go, or destroy walls in one go, instead of putting a breaching charge down, because you can throw a frag at a wall in this game that can be breached, and it'll pop a hole in it in certain spots, but it won't destroy the entire wall like a breaching charge would. So to have like a long range option other than Ash's breaching round in her gun to throw a grenade and just blow the hell out of a wall, that would be really cool too. It'd add, first of all, it'd be loud as hell, and then just a giant explosion, so that would just scare the hell out of people. But to have more long range options and more than one character for breaching would really add something to the game that I think would be very interesting. And with all that, those are the three options that I have. As I've said before, like, comment, subscribe to my videos. Um, Anything you have to say, good or bad, I can take it into account. Maybe there's something that got leaked the day that I post this video, maybe not. Who knows? A lot of guys have been really informative on some stuff, you know, educating me about some of the guns, sending me links of certain operators that have been leaked, quote unquote, or icons. You know, anything like that really helps me out. Now, I'm going to do something, I'm going to ask for something a little bit more in this one. Last time I only asked for 400 to 500 views. This time, the views, I'm going to have that go up to, let's say, 1,000. I don't think. And as for likes and such, I would like this video to get, within the week, 30 likes. And then if we can get 1,000 views and 30 likes, part 3 of the video will come out. For those of you who do not know, I'll put a link to the picture from last time of the Season 1 roadmap. The third DLC that we are going to be getting is Brazil. So that means 2 new counterterrorism units or operatives from Brazil. And I think that's going to be really interesting to do because, especially with a lot of the gangs and all the unrest and everything going crazy, like the slums in Brazil and such, they have a really upgraded kind of militia-like counterterrorism unit, which I really think could bring like a really good urban, gritty feel to it. You know, what if one of the maps is like this giant slum in Brazil where it's just 20 different little sheds and buildings that people can camp out in or use to breach into one shed to go into the main building and such. So, you know, I think that'd be really interesting. This game has a lot more coming out. I personally can't wait. The first DLC is coming out February 2nd for all you who do not know. So be ready. You don't have to pay anything for the DLC. But for the operators, they say it's going to take like 20 hours or something per operator. Or you can just buy it with Renown. I have 25,000 Renown because I've already bought all the operators and guns and such, and I really don't want to use my real money to buy anything. So, hey, good on you, Ubisoft. Good on you. So with all that, I'm going to end this video. Like, comment, subscribe. I'll have new videos coming out every Wednesday. If not, I will let all y'all know. So have a great day, and thank you very much for watching my videos.